It's a case that has haunted southern Ontario for nearly 40 years. The abduction and savage murder of 9-year-old Christine Jessop. After so many years, it seemed doubtful the case would ever be solved. But tonight, we know who committed this horrific crime. Caryn Lieberman is live in our newsroom. Caryn.
Alan, his name is Calvin Hoover, and he knew Christine Jessop and her family. And if Calvin Hoover were alive today, he'd be arrested and charged with her murder. Christine Jessop was 9 years old when she went missing from her home in Queensville. After nearly 3 months, her body was found more than 50 kilometers from her home. She'd been sexually assaulted and murdered. The family's neighbor was arrested and wrongfully convicted of the murder. In fact, it took more than 3 decades, but police today announced they have identified Jessop's killer. Calvin Hoover was a friend of the family. He had access to Christine. His wife and Christine's father worked together, but he died in 2015.
If he were alive today, the Toronto Police Service would arrest Calvin Hoover for the murder of Christine Jessop. Today's announcement is only the first very important answer in this ongoing investigation. It has obviously generated many more questions, and we are asking for the public's help as we look for information about Calvin Hoover in an effort to create a timeline of his whereabouts and the last moments of Christine's life.
Now, the process of just how investigators were able to identify Calvin Hoover as the killer is complex and new to law enforcement in Canada. It's called genetic genealogy, and it's proving to be a very powerful crime-fighting tool.
What we do is we start with a unidentified semen stain that has a DNA profile to it. This is submitted to a lab, and from that profile, they build out a potential familial lineage. And it's from that lineage that the investigators then work downwards to be able to try to identify potential persons of interest.
Now, we'll get more into that at 6, but let me add, the police chief pointed out this goes to show science is progressing at a rapid pace, and police will continue to utilize whatever they can get their hands on in order to fight crime. In the chief's own words, quote, "We're just not going to give up, and somebody is always going to be looking." And Alan, at 6 o'clock, we'll also hear from the family. This is relief for them.